Hey, what's up you guys? It's Meryl, not going around anywhere because today we're going to have a sit-down vlog. I decided to start a series called Filipino International Student in France. The series is basically a guide of how to be an international student in France and how to eventually find a job in France. Step 1. Look for programs and universities. What I did was I made a short list of the programs I was interested in and I looked for universities offering these programs. I also made sure that the medium of instruction was in English, so you have to check that the medium of instruction is something that you're fluent in or at least B2, C1 level. I have specific criteria when I'm checking out programs. So first, I check the curriculum. I ask myself whether or not I can commit to the program for the entire duration, and I ask myself if I'm interested in the modules being offered in the program. Second, I check the career opportunities because I always ask myself whether or not I can see myself working in that industry or in that type of job. Third is the tuition fee because you always have to see your financial capability. Of course, there are scholarship and funding options which I will discuss at the end of the video, so make sure you stay and keep watching. And last, I check the application date so I don't miss any deadlines. When you already have your favorite programs, you have to make sure that you keep yourself updated by checking their website consistently. The whole point of the research is to know your options. So in the process of researching, you start discovering new programs that you never knew about and new universities you've never heard of. So that's the beauty of actually knowing your options. So the second step is to prepare the requirements for your application. So in general, each university would have their own set of requirements, but there are basic requirements that are common to all universities. So this includes CV, cover letter, diploma, or if you're a graduating senior, you can also apply because I also applied as a graduating senior. All I presented was a certificate of enrollment and it kind of says that I'm graduating or expected to graduate in that semester, and the transcript of records. So the basic requirements also include language certifications, and in general, you do need to pass or to have examinations to get these. Personally, I got into a French university without needing to take the IELTS or TOEFL. What I presented was a certificate of English from the school registrar, which basically testifies that my entire bachelor program's medium instruction was English. And of course, I checked this during your interview whether or not you're actually capable of studying and maintaining a conversation in English, which is quite basic in the Philippines, I believe. Although some universities still require you to submit IELTS or TOEFL exams. If you're applying for a program where French is the medium of instruction, you do have a minimum level of French required. You have to pass DELF and DALF. You have to pass B2 for bachelor program and I think at least C1 for master's program, but of course this depends on the requirements of the university. Other requirements include the GMAT or the Graduate Management Admission Test and the GRE or the Graduate Record Examination. Another reason why it is important to research on the programs is to know whether or not you need extra examinations and if you have grade requirements for these examinations. So the third step is to send in your application. So you have to finalize the list of programs you're actually going to apply to based on your interest, your love for the university and the country it's located in, and of course your financial capability, because bear in mind that for every application you send in, there are admission fees and this is not very cheap. Like this is about 100 to 150 euros in my experience. So you always have to think about whether or not it's worth sending a lot of applications or to just focus on your top 3. So if you're coming from the Philippines, you do not need to apply through Campus France online application form, also known as Études en France EEF application form. So you can apply directly to the universities or French higher education institutions. Some universities have online portals where you can essentially just upload your documents and then during enrollment you can present your hard copies. Other universities are a bit more traditional, so you still have to snail mail the hard copies to the universities and they won't touch your application until they receive your documents. A good tip I have is to apply as early as you can because sometimes there's round 1, round 2 until round 4, and the reason why you want to do this is to always know whether or not you have to apply to more universities or not. Step 4. Prepare for possible interviews. In my experience, not all universities actually have Skype interviews, but there are universities that require them. So if you do have a Skype interview with your university, make sure that you have a professional Skype name, or at least a respectable Skype name. Like, try to avoid using your teenager Skype addresses or Skype usernames like, I don't know, sexygirl05, or I don't know, I love Justin Timberlake 5678. Just try to make it your name or at least your initials. And make sure you have good internet connection and proper webcam. For your interviews, try to be as professional as you can and try to prepare for the questions. Try to read up on the program, try to read up on the vision of the school, the mission of the school. Try to read up on the topic or your program itself. So you also have to prepare to talk about the topics that are related to your program. So for example, you have to know the concepts, the theories, the famous authors of the great thinkers of the program you're applying for. So let's say if it's of economics, you have to read up on the economical theories in case they ask. Step 5 is to wait for the university decision. If you are accepted, then you can go and apply for the French student visa, which is going to be the next topic of this series. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified when I actually make that video. If you do not get accepted, however, do not get disheartened. The reason why I suggested you to apply early is because some universities have multiple rounds. So if you do not get into the university you wanted, you can still move on to option 4, 5, or 6 in your list. So you can always try again. So finally, I get to talk about the scholarships. First, some universities actually offer scholarships based on merit, financial aid, early bird, diversity scholarship, and everything. So you just have to check the university website. Again, research is very, very important. Aside from that, there are some universities who have apprenticeships, meaning they have partnerships with different companies, and if you apply through the university, you can actually work for a company part-time and they can give you allowance, and sometimes they even pay for your tuition fee. So if you have this is like the most ideal deal you can have. The second option you have is the embassy scholarship. So in the Philippines, a good example is Phil-France. I actually personally tried to apply for Phil-France, but unfortunately, I did not get this. Although I do know someone who was successful in their application and they do cover your tuition fee and your living expenses. Third is the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. So I'm going to put a link down in the description box of a Facebook page that I follow. They constantly update regarding the Erasmus Mundus and the Embassy Scholarship. So it's very, very good to actually keep yourself updated using this Facebook page. Aside from that, I constantly updated myself of the Erasmus Mundus catalogs. I'm also going to put the link on the description box. So make sure to check that out. Some of their programs are very interesting because you get to go to 1 to 4 countries because they are joint programs. So that's 4 universities in 4 different countries. So it's very, very interesting. So I really suggest that you check them out. So my last tip is to go to higher education fairs. In my personal experience, I went to the European Higher Education Fair, or EHEF. Back in 2017, it was held in Makati. And it was very, very helpful because there were different scholarship booths, there were different universities from different parts of Europe, even UK, Czech Republic, Poland, they were all there. So you could see which universities actually have English as the medium instruction, have programs that are international. So that's it, you guys. I hope you pursue your dreams of actually applying for universities abroad. Bear in mind that there's a lot of ways to find funding and scholarship, especially in Europe. So I really, really hope you do not get disheartened, and I really hope you try to apply for the next school year. If you found this informative, I really, really hope that you subscribe and click the bell button so you get notified of the next part of my series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you around in Europe!